Alright, good mornings or good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you're seeing this video. Welcome back to another video today. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the system that is moving off the African coast and the future storm that we're going to be seeing. And then we might talk a little bit about Tropical Storm Bill right now, off the Carolina coast, moving really fast. But before we talk about all that today, make sure you hit that subscribe button below, and don't forget to like, and don't forget to hit the post notifications. So, speaking about our our tropical wave right now, getting too ahead of myself. Tropical wave in the Gulf of Mexico right now. As you guys could see last night, we are seeing a lot of strengthening last night. It kind of has weakened a little bit. As you guys can see, we don't have as much gray cloud tops really strong as they were. We have more of a -60 now. You do see a little bit of gray in there, but not as much as last night. And as you guys can see that we over here, you guys can see that this right here is trying to break off and go over to here. So it's something we might have to watch, because you guys can see that we have some type of splitting right here over the night. So that's just something we have to watch to see if this might break off right here and cause a storm to form right here. So if we go to look at our spaghetti models on the forecast, so let's look at our spaghetti models, or ensembles as we like to say. So right here we have a high that's built in as of right now. We call this the Bermuda high, just because the Bermuda is right here and it's always in the high. It stays there 95% of the time of the hurricane season. That's why you see a lot of hurricanes either go into here if it's high, takes that track, or it'll take more of a track like this, depending how, like that storm. So it all depends how this high is strong. But this high is moved a little bit north towards northeast, a little bit more than usual. Excuse me, guys. So as we keep on playing this for the future, let's actually turn on our tracks real fast. So we turn on our tracks. So I believe this is the European. Yes, it's the European. So as you can see, some models are just saying it's gonna sit there, and that's the reason why it is going to sit there for a few days. It's not gonna be moving. We do expect landfall around, maybe later on this weekend around Father's Day, maybe next Monday. I'm not 100% sure, but I would say landfall is possible all the way from Florida Panhandle, all the way out into going into Houston, Texas, all the way down here. I'm talking about in these areas, so no one's really ruled out right here for the Panhandle all the way into Houston. So just keep an eye on it. We're not really sure where it's going to make landfall. And sits there for a couple of days, and then models finally start to get on to move in. But there is something, if you guys realize that we have, some models have been, this is something that has been picking up right here, that we have another storm that might be potentially forming. A lot of people have been talking about it lately, coming off from a tropical wave down here, maybe making its way into the Gulf of Mexico, and might form into a good tropical storm. But this is the one we're talking about. This is going to be our next named storm. This one's still out for the future. We got to still keep an eye on that one, but we don't know yet. So as we keep on playing, the dark blue is what we're looking at. We're not looking at the we're looking at the light blue, not the dark blue. This is a different storm with the dark blue. So as you guys can see, if you look, it's a big jumbo. So we zoom in a little bit in this area. Let's zoom into the Gulf of Mexico. See, here we go. This is a lot more organized. As you guys can see, that if you go back in the tracks, so really, if you look right here, it's kind of more organized if I do it like this. So this is one storm over here, and here's another storm over here. So we look at it. Some models are saying it might be making landfall in the Texas area, but like I said, 100% sure where this is going to be making landfall. That's still unpredictable as of right now. But here's our wind shear into the Gulf of Mexico right now. As you guys see, we have our storm right now where we do have a little bit of wind shear actually kicking into its side right here. That's probably going to hurt it a little bit, but really it's not going to do nothing. But we do have the Caribbean Sea um, that has wind shear that actually moved towards the Gulf of Mexico since yesterday. Um, so this is actually moving a little bit more into the Gulf of Mexico, which if we start to see this yellow start to fill in right here around this area, we could see some problems with the storm in the future that will probably hurt the storm more than likely because if we look pretty much, the storm is pretty much going to um, depend off the dry, moist air. It can have some wind shear in it. It can have some dry air, but it cannot have this yellow wind shear because it might hurt it a little bit more. And that might be another reason why we might be seeing another confined. This might be a more blob storm, which is typical for your June storms. If we In a minute, we'll get to that in a second to see what you guys what we're talking about. So here is our rainfall totals for the next 5 days. Then this is when our tropical storm or our storm is going to be making in its place. This is where their estimate landfall is, which is predictable. We're talking about a good 7.5. That's pretty. That's a lot. So we're talking about this is issued to valid through Tuesday all the way to Thursday. So we may see some landfall around maybe Thursday. I would say Thursday, between Thursday and next Monday is our possible landfall. But you guys see, we're talking about some rain. Like I said, in this area, we are going to have winds that are going to be wrapping around the storm like this. Some models have been showing it. We have winds wrapping around like that, which is going to cause some surge, maybe 1 to 2 feet, but nothing really big. But still, if you're below sea level, you guys gotta be careful with that because that's something you need to know your evacuation zone just in case something. Pay attention just for the safety because 1 to 3 feet, even 4 feet can really kill someone. It doesn't matter what it is, but we're talking about rain for the Panhandle, going all the way into the edge of going into Texas. Really, we're talking about some rain too, and it really amping off. Now, some models have been showing that the storm, the GFS is, I believe the GFS has been showing that it's going to be taken by your front and being absorbed by the front and moving really fast. But the European is saying something different. It's saying it's going to make a landfall right in this area, go like this, and turn to a tropical storm right in this area offside of Carolina coast, but then really zoom off, going towards the northeast. And that's around probably Monday. So as we go on to looking at our GFS model, see here's our GFS model. So if you look that our movement right here is our right here, our tropical storm we're looking at, our future tropical storm. As you guys say, if we roll it up a little bit, so if you look up here and see that our storm is right here, as you guys see, this is valid. This is June 16th, 060. So this is the 6 a.m. Wednesday. And as you keep on going, really around Thursdays when we start the 17th is to start to see it moving off into going into the Gulf of Mexico, really moving because really last week, last few days, it's been really sitting in the same spot trying to move, and that's just due to because the wind shear, and there's just some stuff that's causing that storm not to move. And then we have our high out here, and that's going to play a big part into the European, what we're going to see. As you guys see, we have our high. It's a little bit bigger, but you guys got a good understanding of what this high looks like. And if we zoom in, we can actually see rotation with the storm at this point going like this. So a little bit of rotation, some bigger blob, and I expect it to be a lot more of a blob than a a August storm where we're talking about good Cat 5s and all that. This is more of a blob, a little bit more better. This is a tropical storm, a very sloppy tropical storm, which we suspected. And then if we look right here, our cold front forms right here, and our storm is currently, if we erase this real fast, front's right here, storm's right here, which they're saying that the JFS is saying, and this is around Sunday, June 20th, around 6 a.m. GFS says that the storm's right here. The storm goes right here. This high takes more of a path like this. So this is probably going to end up shooting out towards there before this front can actually absorb it. But then eventually get absorbed by the front. As you guys can see that it gets absorbed by the front. Our storm is like right here at this point. But really with this front, which is going to cause some rain and wind for parts of the north and going into the Virginias and North Carolina area. And then eventually just going off right there. Now, there is one spot that the European or GFS has not been picking up anymore. As you guys see, we had a spot right here. I have to look at the 5-day forecast or the 2-day forecast to see what the probabilities of that for me. But some were showing last night's runs or even yesterday's runs of the European GFS were saying it was going to take more of a slant like this and then go like this. But once it gets to this point right here, it's going to die off and become a tropical wave. And then eventually going into the Bahamas down there, or even islands down there, should I say. So as you guys see, as a tropical wave, it goes gust 30 miles an hour, good rain. But really, the miles are not even showing that anymore as we keep on looking. Not really looking towards anything that's showing. But this is our spot that we do have to watch right here. Just to see, because the GFS actually updates in about 2 hours from now. As you guys can see, that's the spot we do have to watch for the future, because that is and that's our little, and that actually pops up from down here from the Caribbean Sea. So that's something we have to watch, and that's around going into the Gulf of Mexico, and that's around if you erase this real fast, that's around July 1st. So we're talking about July 1st. So this is what today is. It's the 15th. I didn't even know that. So July 1st, you're talking about another storm we might be tracking, our potential maybe third storm, and then really we're exactly a month away from seeing those big hurricanes in the Atlantic. So let's look at the European I met. So if we look at the European and see what it's saying too, so we go back a little bit down there. All right, so the European is agreeing with the GFS, saying it's going to sit there a little bit. But this one does have that cold front a little bit faster. If we change the color real fast, that the European is saying this cold front's gonna be a little bit more faster, and it's gonna be faster than the storm back here, which is gonna cause. But if we're talking about right here, let's see. If we look up here, if we erase that real fast, and we're talking about, and this is around Friday 18th and 19th, so really the European has more of a confined storm, a little bit sloppy still, but more rotation than the GFS is saying, a lot more smoother looking. But here's the this storm is going to be the front right here, and this is our storm right here by Monday, June 21st, and they're talking about it almost get caught by the storm. It almost got caught by the storm, it's saying, and as you guys see, as it keeps on moving, and we're talking about once it makes its way into the Atlantic, it could form into another tropical storm off the Carolina coast. So as it keeps on going, you guys can see right there, and reforming. So if we look at something else right now, let's see. If we go to Mike's Twitter page real fast, let me see if they have it up here. So I'm looking for, yeah, here we go. Here it is. All right, so this is our tropical storm belt, really fast moving. Now we have a 70% chance of forming in the next 5 days, which is a lot, and now a 10% chance for forming. That's a pretty good look right there. So if we look at here, a 20% chance of forming in the next 48 hours. Alright, so this is going to be a wrap of the video today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. And don't forget to turn on your post notifications, and make sure you hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next